Hey ho, gamers! Welcome back to Game Time. It's your pal Kyle. It's been a little while since I sat in front of the camera, so here's my face for all the new subscribers, and here it is again for all the previous subscribers who have been with us for a couple of years. Thank you, by the way. Whether or not I'm wearing pants, I will leave it completely up to you guys to decide. On an unrelated note, just by the way, if I'm watching this, editing back and everything, it's okay to turn the temperature up just a couple degrees. It's okay. A little cold. Um, we are going further back than we've ever gone before here on Game Time. Taking a look at the oldest console that I have today. This, of course, is the legendary Fairchild Channel F. And we're going to take a look at it. We'll go a little bit more up close here in just a second or two. And then, like some of these system overviews, part 2 would usually include some gameplay. However, at the time of this video, I do not have any cartridges for show to play, which would be okay because I believe this has a couple games built in, kind of like the Bailey Astrocade. You know, I had like 1 or 2 games just built in just for fun. But this does not want to power on, but I still want to show it off. So we'll look at the system itself, and there will be a part 2 in the near future once we get a game or two. Hopefully it works. If not, I have got 3-4 years ago off eBay a very expensive paperweight. So let's take a look at this bad boy and learn a little bit more about it next here on Game Time. Alright, here it is itself, the very first video game console that had interchangeable cartridges. They actually go right there. That's where you will put your cartridge. If I had one, I would show you that. And this is a release button for it. So here's the Channel F itself, which came out here in North America November 1976. And in Japan in 1977. So got that wood grain finish that's so synonymous with 70s consoles. Basically, the console itself isn't, it seems like it would be mostly these buttons, cartridge here, maybe some guts inside, but a lot of extra space because we got a little spot for the controllers. A couple buttons. We have a reset button, and then time mode, hold, start. Hold actually pauses the game while it's running. So our very first pause button, I believe someone can, and probably will correct me on that on YouTube. The thing itself was originally called the, Video Entertainment System, but became more commonly called Channel F once Atari released their console, which was called the Video Computer System, as to not be confused with that. Let's take a look at the controllers themselves. These are built in, and they are built in right here on the side. Adjust the light there a little bit. So you see right there on the side is where those are built in. Built-in power supply is right there. And we have an on-off switch right here. On, off. So pretty interesting to see. And of course the wire itself goes to the TV, and it has one of those infamous plug-ins there, which you would actually use to plug into like an antenna or one of those little switch boxes that switches between TV and game. Nothing there on the side. Got that wood grain finish. Mine's a little scuffed up, but that's the way it came. Like I said, I got this off eBay a couple years ago, and I've been waiting to do a video on it because I wanted to get some video carts for it. But I never have. I never really found them out in the wild, and those that are online, I've seen them for pretty decent price, but now they're starting to get a little bit outrageous. So I'm not sure what to do. And the thing supposedly does have 2 built-in games, sort of Pong clones. There's like a tennis and hockey. And anytime I try to plug it in and give it a go, I can't get it to work. And about the time I tried really hard to get this, the whole eBay thing had come and gone, so I couldn't really return it because enough time had gone by, and I was just slow and didn't take that into consideration. So oops, let's see what happens there. Maybe I'll get a Model 2. They actually did do a slim version of the Channel F Model 2, so people who say, oh, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, they all do like slim versions of the consoles. Well, that's been going on for a very long time. There was even Atari Junior. There's a slimmer Fairchild Model 2. Yeah, the controllers themselves, before I went off on that rant there, basically just a stick. We have right and we have left. And the knobs itself kind of move around. You can see we can kind of do that. They do kind of press in as well. So if you want to hold it, you can kind of move around like that, press in. The company, what was it? I was looking up on a couple of these facts on Wikipedia. Some of them I knew, some of them I had to look up. Zircon, they made a joystick themselves. They actually did some stuff with Atari too. Made a similar joystick but with a button on the front. So we got our very first controller with a button on it. How about that? I think it'd be fun to play some pilot games or some twin stick shooters using these. They're pretty lightweight. There's not a lot in it, of course. So, as far as anything else, like I said, they just kind of go in there. A huge ass power supply. It rattles a little bit. Maybe that's not good. The thing does turn on. It just doesn't give a display. We can see kind of their power there. Pretty neat. This thing is very large and heavy. This thing's heavier than I think the console itself. Let's finish off with some fun facts. So I shared with you what I knew, but here's a couple of facts that I got from Wikipedia. There was 250,000 units sold, roughly 250,000 in the couple years that it was out. I think it was discontinued in '83, like a lot of other things. The people responsible: Jerry Lawson, Nick Talesfore, Nick Talesfore, and Ron Smith are kind of the people very much making this. Nick Talesfore did design the console itself as well as these funky controllers, so thank you for that. And Ron Smith engineered the the game cartridges as well as the controllers, kind of helped engineer these, so that was funny. And the original unit, the sound played through its internal speakers, while the Model 2 of this just played through the TV like a normal older system. And let's see, and lastly here, 27 games were released for this in the US. So 27 carts. The first 21 of those were from Fairchild themselves, and then third party. I think that Zircon probably made a couple of games. I didn't dive too far into that rabbit hole. So they had a few games from third party or maybe from Zircon themselves, but Fairchild themselves supported most of the small amount of games that were released for it. So, but overall impressions, if I could actually play this, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's probably equivalent to like the Bailey Astrocade and the Odyssey 2 consoles, both of which I have and have done reviews. So I'll try to leave a link at the end of this video on those. If you like these vintage video game consoles, I'll leave both of those at the end. Otherwise, what I would do now is direct you to a part 2 where we would show off some gameplay of a couple games. But I'm going to put that on hold for now. I'm still going to look for some games for this that are an outrageous price. I still would like to have at least a couple. Even if this console itself doesn't work, I can get another one. I can look for a Model 2. It won't be that big of a deal. But I want to see if this thing does actually work. And regardless, I wouldn't mind a couple games for this thing. I think it would look pretty good on the shelf. Just those yellow carts. They were yellow carts, probably a little bit bigger than the Atari ones. So I think they'd be fun lined up with a couple of the older games that I do have. So thank you everybody for checking this out with me. It definitely is a very important piece of video game history. It does have those interchangeable cartridges. We've never seen that before because mostly it was just Pong consoles or things that only played one game. So this was definitely Yeah, big for its time, and it's a shame that it kind of got passed over in favor of a lot of the Atari stuff, and even I think a lot of us still know Coleco and Intellivision; those were pretty popular. This is just kind of forgotten, unfortunately. So I'm very pleased to finally be showing it off here on Game Time. We definitely took a long trip back in time with this one, but thanks for taking the journey with me, and everyone take care. Happy gaming, and we will see you next time.